in 25 CR 989, the state of Texas versus Charles Edward Amburn III. That's you, sir?
Yes, sir.
Present with Mr. Macon, your attorney, and the state's attorney. Does the defendant, oh boy, waive a full reading of this indictment? Can we instead proceed by summary?
Yes, Your Honor.
In summary, Mr. Amburn, paragraph 1 of this indictment alleges that on or about May 17th, 2025 in Jefferson County, Texas, you operated a motor vehicle in a public place while intoxicated. DWI. Do you understand what you're charged with there?
Yes, sir.
If it only ended there, you wouldn't be in this court, you would be in a lesser level court. But paragraph 2 goes on to allege, and this is disturbing here, that you have 4, not 2, and it only takes 2 prior DWI convictions to make a third-degree felony for the third one. This is, from what I understand, at least your 5th one. And that's too much. That's too much. It states that in 1985, you were convicted out of County Court at Law number 3 for Jefferson County, Texas for a DWI. December 15th, 1988, 3 years later, you were convicted out of County Court Law number 2 of Jefferson County, Texas for a DWI. 10 years later, in 1998, you were convicted next door in the 252nd Criminal District Court of Jefferson County, Texas. That was a felony then. And then in 2014 here, in my court, the court I preside over, it's the People's Court, the Criminal District Court, you were convicted of another third-degree felony of a DWI. So you have been subject to third-degree felony punishment, well, since 1998, 2 convictions ago. This is disturbing. Would you agree? Can you hear okay? Because I couldn't help but notice that you were having a hard time listening to the lady here, my coordinator. Ben, you're having a hard time listening to me, and no one ever thinks I speak softly. They think I speak sometimes in a booming voice sometimes. But
Your Honor, it's on name.
generally, the first felony stops people from committing this crime because they don't want to go to prison. But this is happening too often, sir. Let me read this. He said, the policeman, that he had 1 beer. What was the blood test? I don't have any information on it.
0.235.
0.235, 3 times the legal limit. That beer had to have been 5 gallons, a 5-gallon beer, at least. That's 3 times the legal limit. 3 times too much. Do you understand what is charged here in these paragraphs of this indictment?
Yes, sir.
This constitutes a third-degree felony, sir, which means if convicted, you face a term of not more than 10 years or less than 2 years in prison. In addition, a fine may be assessed not to exceed $10,000. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
An agreement has been reached in your case where you would be pleading guilty, sentenced to 10 years in prison. Again, I think this is probably the 3rd time this has happened. Then that would be suspended. You would be placed on regular probation for 10 years, fined $500. There would be terms and conditions of probation, which are normal and customary for this type of offense. And then I see here is a recommendation of 20 days in jail. You've been twice ordered to do 10 days in jail. on the previous convictions.
The one from 2014, Your Honor, it was, he was actually convicted of a lesser included, Class B misdemeanor on that one.
Say it again.
The October 13th, 2014, cause number 1317984. He was actually convicted of the lesser included, Class B misdemeanor.
Okay. So what happened there? Why did that happen? After, that was his fourth conviction. Was, so he only has one felony conviction out of the 252nd?
That's correct, sir.
Why in the world would that have been reduced? I'm surprised MAD didn't come, which is what they take care of. I mean, and I support them 100%. You don't get lesser exposure to criminality by committing subsequent similar crimes. The punishment supposed to go up. Anyway, you have two or more prior DWI convictions. So this constitutes a third degree felony. And you were looking at no less than 2, no more than 10 years confinement in prison, and a fine up to $10,000 can be assessed. And I read what the plan was. It's essentially 10 years in prison, probate that, or 10 years. And there would be terms and conditions of probation, which were similar to the other 4 probations I presume you were on. Were all these probations, or did you just do time on some of these misdemeanors? Do you remember?
You remember if you did time?
You have the prior convictions, right?
Yes, sir.
What does it show, please?
I did. Mistakes? Yeah. I did, on the 252nd, Mr. Giblin, I did 7 years probation. I did, intoxilizer in my truck, Smart Start for 7 years and 300 hours community service. And the last one I got back in 2013 or 14, it was 2 years probation and several hours, 100 hours, I believe, for the community service. And a couple of $2,000 fines, sir. And I completed the probation both times in the community service and paid my fine. And I had the intoxilizer the second time. The last time I had one, 2013, I believe it was. The final disposition was in 2014. I think I got the DWI in 2013, but the final disposition was in 2014. But 2 years probation, and I had the intoxilizer for I think 3 years, sir. I've got an intoxilizer in my truck right now.
Well, that was a condition of bond.
Sir?
That was a condition of your bond.
Yes, sir.
When you were arrested this time.
Yes, sir.
But it's not because you want to do it. It was because it was ordered. And so this is at least, we're dealing with your fifth DWI this time. Correct? This is your fifth one today.
Yes, sir.
Well, do you have from this?
Yes, Your Honor. He got 20 days on one of the misdemeanors,
Which one?
60 days. That's County Court at Law number
What date?
311. That was from 1985.
Okay, that's the first one here of the 4.
April 1998. That's in.
No, that's just, where's 1988's conviction? Out of County Court at Law 2. 137400.
20 days in 1988.
You got, and in 1998, 75446, the 252nd.
7 years probated for and probated for a term of 7 years.
I guess he had to spend some time in jail. That's
Yes, sir.
a statutory required 10 days.
Something. What's his impressions? You were here maybe for 7 years.
Think so. He has called you today. I have no,
There's,
yeah.
there's two kids that are the same age.
I took the Evelyn Manning speed reading course. Would you
So that's.
have to read that one? Okay. I know it's a packet. of
10
stuff.
days.
It's always a packet of stuff.
10 days, jail.
And then we get to the 2014, and that was reduced to a misdemeanor. And what did he receive?
Suspended. He received a 180 days jail that was suspended, and he was placed on community supervision.
I have a feeling I might be getting my.
There was a requirement, I think, if it's a misdemeanor, then at least 3 days.
They're normally giving credit for that.
Yes, sir. Oh, they don't, they actually don't go into jail. They just give them,
Sometimes they do,
really?
but if they have a good lawyer,
Well, I mean, it's a mandatory 3 days. How can they get credit if they didn't serve the time? Uh-oh, you're
when
looking
they,
at,
when they get arrested.
that's one.
One. I think it counts three.
Yeah,
They counted for 3. I'm not sure that the people who are
you know, run the certifier and.
advocates of this, against this kind of behavior, feel like that's because
It's good.
all right, is that okay? All right, so again, you're looking at a 3rd-degree felony, and you would be found guilty, sentenced to 10 years in prison. That would be suspended, and you would be probated for 10 years, $500 fine. You understand that all of this.
Yes, sir.
If I follow this agreement, placing you on probation for, I guess, a 5th time.
That's a great question.
Is that right? Is he on probation on all those others?
That's correct.
I'm not sure it was a wish.
Then you have no right of appeal of your case. Do you understand if I follow this agreement?
Yes, sir.
How do you plead this guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty voluntarily and because you are guilty?
Yes, sir.
And paragraph 2, which recites 4 prior convictions of operating motor vehicles while intoxicated, 4, and at least one of them being a felony out of those 4. Are those allegations true and correct as they are alleged?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading true voluntarily? And because these allegations in this indictment are all true and correct?
That is true, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
If I make it a misdemeanor.
You can show what marked the State's Exhibit 1. Did you sign that document? Understand it? Discuss it with your attorney. Are the contents all true and correct? Is everything true and correct there?
Yes, sir.
State's Exhibit 1 is tendered into evidence
No objections.
and without objection, it's admitted. Hold on, I'm gonna let him look at one other thing. And on this page, is all of that true and correct?
Yes, sir.
State's Exhibit 1 is tendered into evidence and without objection, it's admitted. Among other things, sir, this states that you are mentally competent to enter your guilty plea.
Yes, sir.
You have a little hearing trouble, but I think you're alert mentally. You understand and appreciate the consequences of pleading guilty. You were competent to enter this guilty plea. You understand and appreciate the consequences of pleading guilty. There's sufficient evidence supporting your guilty plea from State's Exhibit 1 admitted here to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. I now find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of this 3rd-degree felony of operating a motor vehicle while intoxicated. As I find you are mentally competent to enter your guilty plea, it is freely and voluntarily made. You know and appreciate the consequences of pleading guilty. And there's sufficient evidence here supporting your guilty plea from State's Exhibit 1 admitted to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. I now find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Pre-sentence report is waived, I presume.
Yes, sir.
I follow this agreement. You were hereby sentenced to confinement in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice to serve a term of 10 years. That is suspended. You were placed on regular probation for 10 years. You must pay a fine of $500. There will be terms and conditions of probation, which are normal and customary for this type of offense. Make sure you follow them. If you fail, your probation can be revoked and you can be sentenced up to 10 years in prison.
Sure. Oh, actually. Federal.
You must have an auto ignition interlock system in any vehicle you operate, which requires you to pass the breath test before it will start. You must complete a Texas DWI repeat offender program.
Got some research folks on
You're on until that meeting up front time.
We're about to go into that.
Yes.
Everybody buckle up.
it.
You're gonna go to jail for a while.
There's 2 people. Saw.
This is your fifth DWI. You have been placed in jail 4 separate times before, and you are still out there driving while intoxicated. It's a 4,000-pound missile. It has to be operated soberly and responsibly. And 3 times the legal limit is not responsible behavior. You're asking for when I assess this, to do it on weekends. Why is that?
Your Honor, Mr. Ambert is employed as a rigger, gainfully employed, and, would ask for the weekend time so he can take his job.
All right. Anything from the state? Because I'm about to drop it.
No, Your Honor.
180 days. You can do it in successive weekends. It'll take forever. But at least you won't be on the roadway putting people in harm's way. You have had the 4 previous convictions did not deter you. And we're just lucky that somebody if there wasn't an accident where people were injured or killed. This is irresponsible behavior. And I know the judges have talked to you in the past, but you're still doing it, sir. Are you an alcoholic? I'm going to be right frank. Are you an alcoholic?
Under the definition of alcoholic, yes, sir. I believe.
What are you doing about that? What
Well,
are you doing to help yourself?
I have not had a drop of alcohol since the day I was arrested, May 17th.
You have been.
It's 8 months.
No, but you've been dealing with DWI charges and convictions since 1985. That's 40 years. 40 years, and you still are not getting it right. The most I can assess is 180 days. You seem like a nice person, but 250,000 people in this county need to be safe from irresponsible behavior like this. It's repetitive. So you're going to do 180 days. And that's going to take a long time. You're going to have to report in the jail on or before 6:00 p.m. every Friday. They will release you 2 days later so you can be able to work. You're talking about, at that rate, 90 weekends, almost 2 years, every weekend. But I really don't feel sorry for you. I'm here to be fair and impartial, but also see what's in the best interest of the people and their safety and well-being. And you're not.
It's best.
I'm really considering just ordering you not to operate a motor vehicle on my watch,
This was time.
which I think I could do. I don't see anything in the Constitution that states you have a right to drive. But
To do my.
shame on everybody involved the next time this happens,
Oh, it's clear.
because you have shown a propensity to continue to do the wrong thing. And it's all about your self-interest. You know, everybody else is put in harm's way, but you're getting high and getting intoxicated. You're not putting others ahead of you like you should. You're just concerned about your inebriation first. Getting high, getting inebriated. Everybody else is going to be in the way, and they're the vulnerable ones. You can't think that. It's selfish thought. I don't think you're a selfish person, but you are portraying yourself to be for 40 years. Anything else?
When is the jail time to begin?
This weekend,
That's the 30th. Friday the 30th.
whatever it is, day after tomorrow.
Not shutting it.
Today's 28. Yeah.
If we make the.
Do you attend an Alcoholics Anonymous program? You're going to. I'm going to throw you in that too.
So you're shooting that.
That's important. I think they're helpful. But whatever has happened for 40 years is not working. And I don't want a catastrophic fatality event happen on our watch, because that's what happens when a 4,000-pound missile hits another car. Like this can happen. All right, Mr. Amber, please see the probation officer. He will go over everything and we will begin probation.
Sir. Just stand by the desk over here. Stand by the desk.
I'm coming.
I've checked out. Everything. All that stuff.